Hey, hello. My name is Jose, and in this tutorial I will try to show you how to create some custom trails over any geometry using Houdini and Copernicus. This is the main setup. I have the auto character geometry from the Sop network with its own animation, this bodybuilder animation, and also proxy level of detail just to get better performance. And you have to remember to add the bond capture attribute, otherwise the bond deform will not work. And I also added a custom mask attribute with some noise, and the final result of the geometry looks something like this. The mask attribute is to then add some color inside the COP network. Then inside the new Copernicus network, I just get the geometry with a sub import, then I rasterize that geo to get that mask attribute and also the alpha. Then I remap that mask attribute to a new range from 0 to 6. So then I can add a modulo function to get these lines over the geometry based on that mask attribute. Then I remap that result to a new ramp, which looks something like this. And then I remap that final result to new values from negative to positive values, which I then remap to a new color ramp. So the final result multiplied by the alpha will look something like this. The alpha, I get it from this rasterized geo, which I blur it a bit so the edge look more smooth, let's say. And yeah, this is the final result, the geometry with the color ramp. Then inside the FlowBlock, the FlowBlock is new in Copernicus. You can add it by just writing FlowBlock. And I didn't use any velocity or temperature inside the FlowBlock. And I connect these final results to the color and also to the pass-through to get the previous frame. And what I did basically is what you usually do inside a sub solver to get some trails over any attribute. You just put the next frame over the previous frame and you get something like this, as you can see. Then you can start playing with those trails using blur, distortion, and all the stuff that you have inside Copernicus. So what I basically did first is to distort that result with a distort cop using the slope direction based on a fractal noise. Then use a slope direction to get directions to inject into that distortion. And the distortion, as you can see, is very subtle. Then I multiply that result by 0.99, so the opacity of the trail will decrease over time, and the final results go to the over compositing node. So everything will look something like this. So from here you can start changing parameters. Let's say if you want some more subtle distortion, you can decrease the amplitude of the noise, or you can also change the size of the noise. I found using big noise get more nicer results. And you can also move everything. I use a transform 2D node to move everything to any side, let's say to the right. And as you can see, the trace will go to the right over time. That's too much, but let's say something like that. And then you will basically compose everything with the main character to get the trace behind the main character. And also what you can do is once you get these colorful trails, you can convert to UV by using the RGBA2 UV cop, and inject that to a fractal noise to get more, let's say, more psychedelic color, and also multiply that with the alpha to remove the background, and this is what you get. And also the final results with the main character on top will look something like this. You can change here the distort from streak off to blur to get more softness over time over the lines. And from here you can keep changing values over anything. And also I tested this with I have this custom butterfly animation from another project, and if we change this to the butterfly with the same setup, it will look something like this. As you can see, pretty cool, huh? Okay, so this is the basic setup, and I hope you learned something new and you can start playing with Copernicus to get this kind of cool or like touch designer look for your renders. Okay, that's it. Thank you.